Hooks have changed the way we build applications in React. They get rid of a lot of complexity by encouraging composition over inheritance. But where the magic of React hooks really shines is when using custom hooks. So today I want to share with you must-know hooks that I personally can't go without. These hooks will allow you to create modern, rich experiences without the added complexity. By the way, you can find these hooks in my favorite custom hooks library, which is usehook-ts, or in another React hook library like useHooks, aHooks, or react-hookz. And if you want to go an extra mile, you can also implement them yourself. By the way, if you're new to my channel, hi, my name is Yusuf and I'm an IT consultant working in Hamburg, Germany. If you're interested in front-end and React development, then make sure to subscribe to my channel not to miss any video. So on place number 9, we have the useInterval hook. UseInterval is a hook used to repeatedly execute a function at a specific interval. And you can use it to create something like this. This is a live watch. So we have a state where we store the current time, and we use this useInterval where we pass a function that is run every second. And inside this function, we just update the time and set it to a new date, which is basically now. And in our return statement, we can show the formatted time. Next on the list, we have useCopy-to-clipboard. Use-copy-to-clipboard is a hook that allows you to easily copy text to the clipboard. So it provides you with two return values, first the copy text and the copy function. And here we have an example where when you click on copy text, a text is going to be copied to your clipboard. And the way that it's implemented, we just have a copy function that is called when the button is clicked. And this is the value that is saved inside the clipboard. And we also have the copied field, which we can use to check if the user has copied. And if that's the case, we can show this success text in green. Place number 7, we have useIntersection-observer. UseIntersection-observer is a hook that is used to observe when an element enters or leaves the screen. You can use this hook in different ways, for example, for loading lazy images or implementing infinite scrolling or animations on scroll, or even to track if elements are visible and use that for analytics. And here I have an example where this is used. So if I scroll out of here and then scroll back, you can see that this text fades away. So this is very fast, so I'm going to do it again. So we just call the hook inside our component and we have a ref and is intersecting. And we just need to pass the ref to the element that we want to check if it's in the screen or not. And is intersecting is basically true when the element is in the view. Place number 6, we have useHover. useHover is a hook I wish I discovered earlier. It makes it easy to detect whether an element is hovered or not. So here we have this card, and when I hover on it, you can see I am hovered. And the way it's implemented is very simple. We just have a ref that is passed to the element that we want to check if it's hover or not. And we pass this hover ref to the useHover hook. And this gives us a boolean that we can use then to style the element and show that it is hovered or not. Hook number 5, useWindowSize. useWindowSize is a useful hook if you want to figure out the window dimensions. It provides you the width and height of the window in real time. As you can see here, you can see the window size, and if I resize the window, it changes accordingly. Now the implementation is also very straightforward. So you just call the hook inside the component and you can use the width and height inside of it. Custom hook number 4, useMediaQuery. useMediaQuery is a hook that makes it easy to handle media queries inside your components. You just pass in the media query and you receive a boolean if it's matching or not. And in this example, we're checking if the screen is smaller than 768 pixels. And then we can check if it's matching, then it means we're on mobile, otherwise we're on desktop. And for checking this out, I can also just resize the screen. You're gonna see you're on mobile. So this is also dynamic. And on the 3rd place, we have useEventListener. useEventListener is a neat hook that lets you easily add an event listener to any component on the page. This is especially useful if you want to add an event listener to the whole document. So in this example, I have a component that listens for clicks on the document.body, and you're gonna see whenever I click, then we have a notification that is shown. On the 2nd place, we have useDebounceValue. useDebounceValue is a hook that lets you optimize expensive operations like search or API calls. And this hook just provides you with the debounce value. The easiest way to understand debounce values is with an example. So here I have a component that has a text input, and this is saved in a state. And if I start writing something, let's write react, you're gonna see that the changes are directly reflected in our input, but not in our debounce input. Let me try that again. And when you take a look at the code, you're gonna see that we're using the useDebounce hook for that, and we pass in the value that we wanna track and an interval. So every time that the original value updates, it's gonna be internally checked if it's within this interval, and then we wait at least 500 milliseconds, and then the value will be updated. This is very useful if you wanna save on making API calls when the user searches for something. By the way, I'm working on a video right now on how to implement this hook from scratch, so you can subscribe to my channel not to miss it when it's out. And finally, on the first place, we have the use local storage. If you ever wanted to persist state between page reloads, then this hook is for you. This is very similar to the use state hook, with the difference that the state is saved and restored from local storage. And to use this hook, you just need to provide the key to store and restore the value. So here we have, for example, a counter, and when I reload the page, you're gonna see that the count is still saved. And the implementation is really simple. It's your classical counter example, with the only difference that we're using the hook instead of use state. And there you have it, the most useful custom hooks in React. If you made it this far into the video, then I don't want you to go empty-handed. Make sure to check out my latest video where I show you 3 React patterns that I use to create any kind of pop-ups or modals. And if you're still in a hook mode, then you definitely want to check out my latest React query course where I go over how to use useQuery and use mutation in detail. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.